There has never been a Green Party government federally or provincially in Canada, but that could all change today when voters in Prince Edward Island head to the polls. Joining me now is Philippe J. Fournier, a writer at Maclean's Magazine and creator of 338 Canada, which does electoral projections. Philippe, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning, Ben. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so the Green Party is led by Peter Bevan Baker. He's a Scottish-born dentist. He has turned this election into a very closely watched race. Talk to me about context. How historic would this be if the Green Party forms a government?
Well, ever since PEI joined the Confederation more than 145 years ago, we have seen only a switch between the Liberal governments and PC governments. So this will be a historic election if it turns out to be that way. When we look at the polling right now, we see that the Green Party is leading either by 10 points or is in a statistical tie with the PCs. And so it's very uncertain. The results are really uncertain because the sample size are so small. But it is true that the Green Party, if they have a good get-out-the-vote machine, they could form government tonight. Okay, so it's been a series of alternance between Conservatives and Liberals historically in PEI. What caused this shift? What allowed the Green Party to sort of shoehorn their way into this conversation? Well, that's a very good question because there is not one clear ballot box issue right now. I don't want to say there are no issues in this election. There's no dominant one. When we look at the numbers, the polling numbers, we see that Mr. Bevan Baker is dominating the favorably ratings. So basically, it is his personality and himself that is pulling the Green Party upwards in the polls. And we know that Elizabeth May, the leader federally for the Greens, has campaigned in Prince Edward Island on behalf of her provincial cousins. If the Greens have that electoral breakthrough that a lot of people are thinking and some are hoping for, could this be a precursor for a federal breakthrough? Well, I would say yes, because when we saw, for instance, last year in Ontario, when the first polls showed that in Guelph, the Green candidate was leading, you saw all those foot soldiers from all across the country for the Green Party that went door to door and ended up winning the county. And so a few months later, we go to New Brunswick, and the Green Party of New Brunswick won 3 seats in the legislature, which was the first time ever. So if the Green Party nationally and the Green supporters throughout the Maritimes go and act as foot soldiers to get out the vote, it could have a very big impact on the result tonight. And Philippe, last question for you very quickly. A lot of people don't know much about any of the Green parties. They sort of stop when they hear the name and they say Green must be environmental. What is the general platform? Give me top 2 or 3 priorities of this Green Party in PEI. Well, as you said, the environment will be the #1 priority, but they have fancied themselves as being moderates, so not too much to the right, not too much to the right, being centrist, basically, and having just trying to develop the economy based on green policies. And so we will see. This will be a very, it's like a laboratory, right? We will see if it goes well for the Greens in the PEI. It could have major impact on the federal scene. We have to remember that in the last federal election, the Liberals of Justin Trudeau did very well in the Maritimes. And so if the Green Party picks up a few points, it could hurt him in the polls. Philippe J. Fournier, merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.